Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayante Nashtiprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtike. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva, text number 74 onwards. So Lord Shiva is further speaking. Athedam nityadhayukto japanna vahitah puman achirachreya apnoti vasudeva parayanaha. The devotees, a devotee of Lord Krishna, whose mind is always absorbed in him, who with great attention and reverence chants this stotra prayer, will achieve the greatest perfection of life without delay. Perfection means becoming a devotee of Lord Krishna, lies on the Lord Krishna, and a devotee of Lord Brahma. Both of these demigods are engaged in offering prayers to lords of such great personalities and become devotees. People do not know this secret. They do not know that the real interest and the highest perfection of life is to worship Lord Vishnu, Krishna. It is impossible to become satisfied by trying to adjust the external energy. Without being a devotee of Lord Krishna, one can only be baffled and confused. To save living entities from such a calamity, Lord Krishna points out in Bhagavad Gita. After many, many births and deaths, a wise man surrenders unto me, knowing very well that I, Vasudeva, and am everything. Such a great soul is very rare. We can achieve whatever benediction we want simply by becoming devotees of Vasudeva. So by becoming devotee of Vasudeva, I become devotee of Krishna, and how we become? By great attention and reverence chants this prayer, will achieve the greatest perfection of life without delay. I mean, it will happen very fast. Achirat Shreya, Achirat, it's very soon. Shreyasam e sarvesham jnanam ne shreyasam param sukham tarati dushpar. Jnana, otherwise the ocean is impassable. Actually, everyone is suffering within this material world due to ignorance. Every day, we see that a person without knowledge commits some criminal act and is later arrested and punished, despite the fact that he actually may not have been conscious of his sinful activity. Such ignorance prevails throughout the world. People do not consider how they are risking their lives in an attempt to have illicit sex life, kill animals to satisfy their tongue, enjoy intoxication, and gamble. It is very regrettable that the leaders of the world do not know of the effects of these sinful activities. They instead take in things very easily and are succeeding in making the ocean of science wider and wider. So it's only because of ignorance of our spiritual path, ignorance of making the advancement on this path, ignorance of the goal of life. People are doing so many things. They're taking them farther and farther away from the goal. And they just don't know. And this is all ignorance. Opposed to such ignorance, full knowledge is the greatest achievement within this material world. We can practically see that one who has sufficient knowledge is saved from many dangerous pitfalls in life. Radha Prabhu says, audio is breaking and some fast. Everybody else has a problem with the audio?
Yes, Prabhuji, is breaking actually.
My connection is okay. I don't have a problem here.
Sometimes going off and sometimes.
I don't know. Connection here is okay. Well, we can pray only, that's all. Opposed to such ignorance, full knowledge is the greatest achievement. We can practically see that one who has sufficient knowledge is saved from many dangerous pitfalls in life. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunaman Janmanamante. When one actually becomes wise, he surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vasudeva Sarvamagdi Samahatma Sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rarely to be found. This Krishna consciousness movement is determined to open wide the eyes of so-called leaders who are full of ignorance and thus save them from the many pitfalls and dangerous conditions of life. The greatest danger is the danger of getting a body lower than that of a human being. It was with great difficulty that we attained this human form of life just to take advantage of this body and re-establish our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda. Lord Shiva advises, however, that those who take advantage of his prayers will very soon become devotees of Lord Vasudeva, and thus will be able to cross the ocean of nescience and make life perfect. So that is the purpose of life, and this is what Lord Shiva is guiding us to get to. Text 76. Yayamam Shraddhaya all who are rendering devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worshipping him are very difficult. If one vibrates or simply reads the stotra prayer composed and sung by me, he will very easily be able to invoke the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is especially significant that Lord Shiva is a pure devotee of Lord Vasudeva. Among all Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva is the topmost. Consequently, Lord Shiva has a sampradaya of Vaishnava disciplic succession called the Rudra Sampradaya. At the present moment, those who belong to the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya of Vaishnavas come from Rudra, Lord Shiva. To become a devotee of Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, is very, very difficult. The word especially used in this connection is Duraradhyam. The worship of demigods is not very difficult, but becoming a devotee of Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, is not so easy. However, if one adheres to the principles and follows in the footsteps of the higher authorities as advised by Lord Shiva, one can easily become a devotee of Lord Vasudeva. This is also confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj. Devotional service cannot be practiced by a mental speculator. Devotional service is a special attainment which can be acquired only by a person who has surrendered unto a pure devotee. As confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj, Mahiyasam Pad Rajo Abhishek. Unless one accepts the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee who is free from all material contamination, one cannot enter into the devotional service of the Lord. So Lord Shiva is saying, if one vibrates or simply reads this stotra or prayer which he has given, one can very easily invoke the mercy of the Lord. And this is what Prahlad Maharaj is saying, that Prabhupada is quoting Prahlad Maharaj, that he said, unless one accepts the dust of lotus feet of a pure devotee, so if we accept the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, he is a topmost Vaishnava, in the Vaishnava feature, not as a demigod feature or in the Shankaracharya feature, as a Vaishnava, then we can very easily attain the mercy of Krishna. This is what the Vaishnavas do. Lord Shiva, topmost Vaishnava, and he's very, very merciful. He is very merciful materially also. If somebody wants material benefits, he can easily give those. But we don't approach. Lord Shiva. For those. Gita the Suprita Shreya Sam Kevala Bhavat Shreya Sam Ek Vallabhat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the dearmost objective of all auspicious benedictions. A human being who sings this song sung by me can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee, being fixed in the Lord's devotional service, can acquire whatever he wants from the Supreme Lord. See here, Lord Shiva is also saying that whatever we want, we can acquire from Krishna. He is not going to give, because although as a demigod, he can give. But he says whatever comes, it comes from Krishna. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tata. If one can attain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has nothing to aspire for, nor does he desire any other gain. When Dhruv Maharaj became perfect by austerity and saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, he was offered any kind of benediction he wanted. However, Dhruva replied that he did not want anything, for he was perfectly satisfied with the benediction of seeing the Lord. Except for the service of the Supreme Lord, whatever we want is called illusion, maya. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Jivera Swarup hai Krishnera Nityadas. Every living entity is an eternal servant of the Lord. Therefore, when one engages in the service of the Lord, he realizes the highest perfection of life. A faithful servant can fulfill any desire by the grace of the Master, and one who engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord has nothing to aspire for separately. All his desires are fulfilled simply by engaging constantly in the Lord's loving service. Lord Shiva shows us that any devotee can be successful simply by chanting the prayers which he has recited. So he is telling all this to Prachetas, and through Prachetas to all of us. If we chant those prayers, we can achieve the perfection. But in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So point is to chant the holy names of the Lord and attain perfection. That's a goal of human form of life. There's nothing else we need. And that's what Prabhupada is saying. A faithful servant can fulfill any desire by the grace of his master. And one who engages in transcendental loving service of the Lord has nothing to aspire for separately. It's just like once one king, he made an announcement in his kingdom that all the citizens, they can come and whatever they want, they can take from my king. So citizens are happy that we can take whatever we want. And the king said, whatever you touch, it will be yours. So the citizens came running. Somebody was touching the gold, somebody was touching the jewelry, somebody was touching whatever he wanted, they wanted. But one citizen, one guy came, old guy, he came and he just touched the king. So king said, you are the most intelligent, because if you got the king, you got the whole thing. All the whole palace, the whole opulence of the king, the whole army me everything. You got everything. Of course, we don't desire any of the opulence, but all the opulence will come with Krishna. This is what Ravan made the mistake at. He wanted to enjoy Sita without serving Ram. If he had served Ram, Sita would have come with Ram. The whole opulence would be his. Not just Sita and Ram, even Lakshman, Hanuman, everybody would be coming with Ram to be with Ravan. But this is not what Ravan wanted. And this is the difference between demons and devotees. Demons always want something material, something to show off, something to enjoy themselves. But devotees want only Krishna. Krishna, Krishna's name, Krishna's service, Krishna puja. And they're ready to give Krishna to everybody. Lord Shiva is ready to give Krishna to everybody. And so is all the devotees. Srila Prabhupada, all the devotees are ready to give Krishna to everybody. We just have to be ready to take it. And who can deny the service of Krishna? Look at this beauty of Krishna. Who can deny serving him? This is what captures everybody's heart. Idam ya kalya uthaya pranjali shadhyanvitaha shrinu yachra yen martyo mochite karma bandhane. A devotee who rises early in the morning and with folded hands chants these prayers sung by Lord Shiva and gives facility to others to hear them certainly becomes free from all bondage to fruitive activities. Mukti or liberation means becoming free from the results of fruitive activities. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Mukti constitution. In this case, we are entangled by one fruitive activity after another. Karma bandhan means the bonds of fruitive activity. As long as one's mind is absorbed in fruitive activities, he has to manufacture plans for happiness. The Bhakti Yoga process is different. For Bhakti Yoga means acting according to the order of the Supreme Authority. When we act under the direction of the Supreme Authority, we do not become entangled by fruitive results. For instance, Arjuna fought because the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted him to. Therefore, he was not responsible for the outcome of the fighting. As far as devotional service is concerned, even hearing and chanting is as good as acting with our body, mind, and senses. Actually, hearing and chanting are also activities of the senses. When the senses are utilized for one's own sense gratification, they entangle one in karma. But when they're used for the satisfaction of the Lord, they establish one in bhakti. So karma bandhan can be finished just by engaging in devotional service. Otherwise, everybody is doing fruitive activities. Now, fruitive activities means working for some fruits, working for some results, and more we work in that way, more we get entangled, because then the desires are always there, and when the desires are there, one has to take birth again and again. And as like Prabhupada quoted Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna fought because the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted him to. And therefore he was not responsible for the outcome of fighting. So we are not supposed to give up our activity, our work. It's just we have to do that work for the pleasure of Krishna. That's all. Work. Like Lord Shiva said, early in the morning, get up and do your bhakti devotional service. and then take care of your Varnashram duties. Then our consciousness will be properly situated, and the work will yield desired results, both materially and spiritually. Geetam mayedam nar devanandana parasya punsah paramatmanah stavam japant ekagradhiyastapo mahat chardvamante tat apsyatepsitam. My dear sons of the King, the prayers I have recited to you are meant for pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul. I advise you to recite these prayers, which are as effective as great austerities. In this way, when you mature, your life will be successful, and you will certainly achieve all your desired objectives without fail. If we persistently engage in devotion service, certainly all our desires will be fulfilled in due course of time. And this is our Lord Shiva's instruction to Prachetas. Of course, we cannot remember all the prayers sung by Lord Shiva. Kali Yuga. This is Kali Yuga. So all we have to remember is chant Hare Krishna. So when we are mature or more advanced in spiritual life, devotion service, life will be successful and certainly achieve all the desired objectives. Of course, our desired objective is to attain Krishna, Krishna Loka, Krishna Prem. And that will definitely be achieved. So there ends this 24th chapter, and tomorrow we'll start the 25th chapter. The description of the characteristics of King Puranjan. This goes on for, I think, 3 chapters, the story of King Puranjan. It's a beautiful story. And that brings about detachment, complete detachment. Okay, and not just 3 chapters, it goes on for 4 chapters. Yeah, 4 chapters. It'll be amazing. Well, anyway, so this is where Lord Shiva gives instruction to Prachetas, and he departs, and Prachetas go for their austerities, and Narad Muni goes to the palace of King Prachin Barishat, the father of Prachetas. And this story of King Puranjan, he will speak over there. Anyway, we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Prabhuji, who is Puranjan? You just said now he.
Yeah, well, you will see. I don't want to
Okay.
take away the suspense.
Spoiler, huh?
See, there's so many stories within stories, but they're full of instructions and full of bhakti.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So because now Prachetas are gone underwater, so they will do their tapasya. Meanwhile, Narad Muni takes advantage of going to their father and deliver him. Okay, so I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful and safe day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Jai Srila
Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare